Melissa here at TCT Crafts. Today we are going to be making some corner swags, corner swags, but I'm going to use them to go around the picture frames that I have back here in my design room. So we're going to sort of coordinate it with the tree that we designed. It's going to have some of the same colors and elements, a little bit different, but trying to tie in a lot of what we use to decorate our tree with. So what I'm going to be using to make my swags are these two bases, or swag bases, that I got from Ross last year after season. They were originally $15.99 and I got them on sale for $7.99. So if you see these in the stores after the season, snag them up, because you can definitely use them in other designs and kind of add your own touch to them. I mean, you could hang it up just like it is, but for me it's lacking a little, so we're going to dress it up. So everything that we do to one, we're going to do to the other. We're just going to mirror them. So let me take the tags off. And this goes for any of these that you see after season, whether they're Christmas, Halloween, fall, snag them up. Okay. Now I'm going to take off the little silver balls. We'll save them for another project. I may leave the black pumpkins. I'm going to take off the silver these little pieces. I may leave on because they've got some black in it. I'll leave the pumpkins for now. Let's take off this silver ball. I'm just gonna save those for another project. So let me do the same on this side. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and just bend the corner. Just like that. We're going to do the same thing on this side. I'm just going to bend the corner. Kind of make sure they're bent fairly the same. So this part will hang down straight. So let's just picture that I've got this, let's just say this is my picture or my mirror or anything that you want to hang around it. So that way it'll just kind of hug that corner. Okay? So let's start with this one. And again, everything I do to this one, I'm going to do the exact same thing, just opposite on the other one. So the good thing is, because this already has the black branches and ties in with our color scheme, I'm not going to add any mesh to this. So let me just kind of fluff these out. And at the end, I will show you how I hang these so that you can see how to hang them. And again, they work really good on the, you could do it on the corner of a mantle. You could do it around a mirror, around a decorative sign. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my ribbon. So we're going to bring in some of this that we used on our tree. I kind of want a little tail here, and I'm going to try not to glue in the items in this just because it is seasonal, and that way if I decide to do a different theme next year, I can just take these elements out and reuse this swag base. Okay, so I want, because I'm going to have a sign, I'm going to have this sign that we used in our tree up here in the corner. So I'm thinking we just have a little bit of, let me get my other scissors. Have a little bit of this ribbon here. I'm going to put this one back here, and I'm just folding the ends up so that we see a little pop of that pink. And then I'm just going to kind of make a little hump. Try to keep you guys in view as much as possible, and then we'll let it hang down at the bottom. Okay, so now let's do the same thing to this one. It's just going to be the opposite side. So I started with the tail over here. And if it's not, you know, exact, it doesn't have to be exactly matchy-matchy, but we want them close, right? Okay, and then we're going to put one up here in the corner. Now, if I was making these to sell, I would add a little bit of hot glue under there just to hold those. But since I'm not, they're going to be used up here in my design room, I'm not going to glue it. That way, if I take this down and decide to use this ribbon for another project, and maybe that's not the length I want, I can change it. Okay. So it looks like, there we go. Okay, so we've got our ribbon in place. That's all the ribbon we're going to use, just a little bit. If you wanted to add a bow, you could, but I'm just going to do the tails and that little loop or little hump, whatever you call that thing. Okay, now let's add in our sign. This I may have to glue in just because I don't know if I can get it to stay in there without gluing it in. I was really hoping not to glue anything in here. Let me see. If I took a pipe cleaner, so if I took a pipe cleaner, if I had, then I could just tie that. So let me add a little bit of glue onto the back of the sign to hold this little pipe cleaner in. Then we can use the pipe cleaner to tie it into our swag. Let me just hold this for a second. Let me use this glue just to kind of again, if I were to sell this, I would glue it in. But okay, let's let that dry. Let's do the other one. If I had thought about this, I would have done it before, but I didn't, so bear with me a second. Okay, while that's drying, and I don't need it to be super secure because again, it's hanging up here in my design room. But let me let that dry. While that's drying, let's add our little ice creams. These are just so cute. I love these. We also have them in the traditional orange and green colors. But since I was doing pink up here, of course, I had to bring in the pink. So I'm thinking kind of right in here. And again, typically I would glue this. See if I want to kind of tuck. I think I kind of want kind of tucked under the ribbon. It kind of hides it a little bit, but I kind of like it poking out like that. So I'm going to take these two branches and just twist it around the bottom of that cone. And then, let's see. If I'd have had a black pipe cleaner, it would have been better. But I'm just going to take this pipe cleaner, and you won't be able to see it really, and just tie this to that branch. Okay, so we have our little ice cream poking out there. Cute. So now let's do that to this side. Having to push these pipe cleaners down over here on this side. Okay. Cut the little tag off. I normally try to cut the tags off before I start, but I guess I was in such a rush to get going this morning, I didn't do that. Okay, so again, I'm going to take the pipe cleaners and not the pipe cleaners, the little pine branches. If I can find two here. There we go. And I'm just going to tie it around the bottom. And then I'm going to take the pipe cleaner and run it around right there, the top of that ice cream scoop. We're just going to tie it to this pine branch down here. Okay, I think I might have lost our, oh, I think we're back. I think the Mevo decided to take a timeout. Even if you were going to sell this, you could still do this with a pipe cleaner if you wanted a little extra security. But these are pretty light, so. Well, this one I'm struggling, but I'm going to get it. There we go. Nope. Pine branch just came right on out. I don't have like a, oh, here's one. Like I need a long pine branch. There we go. There we go. Winner, winner. Just twist that. I can't even see what I'm doing. Sorry, guys. So I'm just twisting that pipe cleaner and then kind of tucking it in the back. Okay. So you can see now we have that side and we have that side. Okay. Let's go back to this one. Let's see if our sign is where we can glue it. Yeah, it is. Okay, so let's take and do the same thing. Take our little pipe cleaners and twist it around the back of this. Just tying it back around the back of this. And again, if I were selling this, I would also glue it. You could also take this little hangy piece and just kind of loop it through as well. I'll just give it a little twist. Okay, so we have our little trick-or-treat sign. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side now. So again, we're just mirroring exactly the steps we do on one, we're going to do on the other. This little pumpkin came off of that one, so we'll add him back maybe in a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to take and wrap it around. And now we have our little sign on that side. Okay, well, let's move on. So now let's add some of these pink little sprays. Get my cutters here. So I'm just going to cut these into little sections. And we'll add a few of these in there to bring a little bit of that pink. Break up some of that black. I wish I would have had more of the, if you watched the tree tutorial, I wish I would have had more of the orange and pink. Well, I got a scrap of it here, right here in the trash. Let me show you. I wish I would have had more of this ribbon to bring in the colors in our tree, but I only had the one roll. So we're just going to use the black and white and pink one. Okay, I'm gonna do 3 of these. We're gonna use 3 of these. And again, you can scale up, scale down on your design. You can put more in here if you want. If I were going to sell this, I might, but this is, again, going up here. So I'm going to start with 1 down here at the bottom. And because I'm not gluing these, I'm just going to, and that pumpkin just came off. So we're going to, we may have to glue Mr. Pumpkin back in there. I really don't want to glue. maybe we can do this, guys. So let's take a pipe cleaner, because I really don't want to glue. And I'm going to dip it, or I'm going to put some hot glue on it and dip it in there like that. And then we can just tie Mr. Pumpkin back in there. Do a little problem solving. So I'm just going to add, made a mess on my mat. So I'm just going to add that pipe cleaner in there like that. Let it dry for a second, and then we can tie him right back in there. That way, if I decide I don't want him later, then we can take him out. Okay, so back to this. I'm going to push this in there and just take some of the pine branches and twist around that. Let's do one up under here. And again, I'm going to take the pine branch and just twist it, just to kind of hold it in since I'm not gluing. Let's do one up under here. Again, taking a pine branch, twisting it, help hold it in. Okay, so we've got, trying to keep this an angle for you guys. It's a little difficult. Okay, so we've got kind of these going to the inside, this one going down. Let's do one sort of on the outside now. Tuck one in there. Okay, so that's 4. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we have one extra one. We may have to cut this up, but let's save it for now. So let's do 4 on our other side, just so we can keep with our pattern here. Okay, so I'm going to start with the bottom. Tuck it in there. Tie one of these branches around it. Okay, let's do one towards the inside in here like we did on the other. I'm going to tie the branches around it. Okay, let's do one this way. Okay, and then let's do one kind of back here. That one's in there pretty good. I'm not going to worry about trying to find a tie for that. Okay, so now let's go in with our last little piece that we're going to put in here. So this is going to be pretty easy. Not a whole lot of product. Our little black base kind of did a lot of work for us. And we're just adding in a few little elements. So I'm going to take some of these little pink, and I'm going to pull these apart. So taking these little curly sprays, let's add one down here at the bottom. So I'm just gonna, instead of unwinding it like I did, I'm just gonna kind of pull it, give it a little bit of length. Have a little spot right there I need to glue. Okay, let's add that right there. And if you want to make these smaller, you can cut them in half too. That's another option. So I'm going to cut this down just a little bit. And then wrap it around. I'm going to kind of tuck it back behind this pumpkin, just kind of peeking out a little bit. Just twisting that wire around the spine. Okay. Now let's get this one. I'm going to have it come up underneath there. Let me cut this down a little bit. I'm going to take that wire and twist around the spine. And then we can kind of manipulate it under there how we want it. So just a little peek. Okay, I'm going to take one more to do back here. Taking that wire and twisting it around the spine. There we go. So just a few little pieces. Let's do the same thing to the other side now. And we'll add our little pumpkin back over here. So this little guy was over here, kind of to the side, because I see the other one doesn't have it. That's okay. I think the pumpkin is underneath the tail on the other side. Okay. Now let's add these in. My husband is downstairs on a call. Hopefully you guys can't hear it. But he is the one paying for this beautiful ribbon, so we're going to let him keep doing his call. Okay, so do one there. The other one we had kind of up under here. So let me just twist it around. we had one coming up underneath the sign. Okay, and then our last one we'll put up. Cut this off. So this one we are going to put right back here. And just wrap it around that spot. There we go. So here is our cute little corner swag. You could definitely add more to this. I'm going to stop here, but you can let your imagination go wild. You could put pumpkins. We actually do have this pumpkin. Where did he come from? He came from, I don't remember which wreath it was that he fell off of, guys. But I kind of like him right there. It won't be matchy to the other one, but that's okay. Let's just go ahead and put him there. So again, I'm going to take my little pipe cleaner trick, add some glue. I said I was going to add some glue. Gotta add another glue stick. There we go. I'm going to let that dry. So since we're adding that there, let me just see if I want to pull in some of these back in here. I'm thinking maybe we should, because the little pumpkins have the little silver on them, and then these little things that we left have the silver on them. So let's just go ahead and add them back in there. Why not? So let me see. I'm going to have to take and do the same little trick with these guys. I'm going to have to put my little pipe cleaner in there. That way we can tie it in, because I don't want to glue it in. So let's get these going. See if I can get this off of here. If not, we may have to wrap the pipe cleaner around it. This one's on there pretty good. There it goes. There it goes. So I'm just going to add some hot glue there. Let that dry. See if we can do this one. Just going to see if I can pull this out without breaking it. These are plastics, so there we go. Okay. Add that. Let that dry. And I see this little piece we didn't cut out. Now, since I have these and we're adding the silver back in, I could just tuck a few of these back in here. Again, I don't want to glue it, so I'm just going to kind of tuck it. let's add this guy back in here now. So I'm just going to tie it around the spine. Forgot to do this one. Okay. This one is a little broken. There it goes. Okay. So let's let that dry and let's go to this one. And let's add this back in there. Add this one under here. So since we don't have, get it where you guys can see it again. Just gonna this tutorial might be a hot mess with all the angles trying to get both of these in here, so hopefully it turns out okay, but if not, I apologize. We'll hopefully do a project next week that's a little bit more in frame. This one is being difficult. I'm gonna flip it over. There we go. Okay, let's add one of these smaller ones, kind of right there where we tied our bow in. Let's do the same on this side. Not our bow, but our little tail. Okay, I have one more big one. We may just leave him out because I think it's fairly balanced. So we'll just maybe, unless I tuck it, I kind of don't want to just have this random ornament, so we'll go ahead and just tie it back behind here. It won't be that visible. Okay. So there we go. So now we have our cute little swags that match our tree. I'm going to stop the video and I'll get my camera set up and I'll show you how we are going to hang these. Okay, so now we are going to hang our little corner swag. We're going to hang it up. So I am going to take just some thumbtacks and I'm just going to put one here in the corner. And then one about right here. And then maybe one right here. Okay. And let's get the one that's going to face. So I'm getting the one that's going to face this way. Okay, and I can see this one is too far. So I'm going to take this pine branch and twist it around that one. And then I'm going to find one back here. And twist it around this one. And then let's take up here and twist it around that one. So now we have our cute little corner piece that we designed right there, kind of hugging my little picture. Now, at Christmas time, I will probably do a bigger one. So I'll probably have one that goes all the way to the end and then all the way down. But these little black bases, these are the only two that I had, and they were a little smaller. So we're just kind of hugging the corner here. But just know that you can take this all the way, get a larger swag, and take it all the way down. But that's how I hang them up. Let me raise it just a little bit. And now we have our cute little corner swag. So I'm going to do the same thing to the other side, and then I will show you guys what it looks like. Okay, so here's our cute little corner swag right next to our tree. I think it turned out super cute.